What is up, guys? Welcome back to Electric Buzz. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Evolv Stride by Urban Machina. We had this scooter sent to us about 4 or 5 months ago. Never got around to doing a review. The scooter costs around $1,000, a little bit more, $1,099. But we're going to do a quick review on the scooter. So let's get right into the video. All right, guys, so luckily sunny today. I know in our last video it was raining a bit, but yeah, we're gonna get right into the features of the Stride, take it around city of Fort Lauderdale, see how it handles. Got the GoPro on today, so we're gonna be able to get some GoPro shots as well, first person, you guys can see it. So let's get right into the video and let's start off with the battery, guys. We're starting out with the battery on the Evolv. So it actually is a 48-volt battery. It peaks out at about 900 watts. So yeah, we're gonna basically just kind of take it for a quick spin. We're on the streets right now. Go ahead and go straight, Mark. So I'm actually riding it right now in sport mode. We're at hitting about 20 miles per hour right now, which is a pretty good speed. You know, just being completely transparent with you guys, it's not the fastest scooter on the market by far. And the ride is a little bit plasticky because this is not built with metal, it's built with plastic. The quality is still pretty sturdy, so I don't think we're gonna have any issues of it, you know, falling apart anytime soon. However, I would tell you guys that there's definitely faster scooters and more quality scooters on the market. So yeah, guys, we're basically going through the city right now. I'm gonna pull over, go through the menu system and show you guys, you know, what type of modes you guys have with the Evolv and just kind of how the menu system works. Very simple menu system here. We have the power button where we can just hold on the power button and you can turn on the scooter. And then you have an M button, which basically, if we just click the M button, it's gonna shift us through a few different modes. So the first one is going to be eco mode, which is going to allow you guys to save on the battery power. The next mode is going to be drive mode, which is just the regular mode for the scooter. And then my favorite mode and the quickest mode is going to be sport, which is just going to put the scooter in a max capacity for the battery. And for the remaining portion of the video, we're going to just be riding this thing in sport mode. One cool thing about riding a scooters, specifically this one, is that you kind of get a little bit of the best of the both worlds, because if you guys are driving through the city, it's definitely going to be, you know, quick enough speed to get from point A to point B. You know, you're going to be able to ride it on the street in some areas, but then also in certain areas where, you know, you might not be able to keep up with the cars and it's going to be a little bit unsafe to take this thing onto the street, you'll be able to take this thing onto the sidewalk. Like I mentioned earlier, we were riding it and it was peaking out at about 19-20 miles per hour, something like that. So that'll just kind of give you guys a rough idea of, you know, what this scooter will be capable of wherever you guys decide to ride it. So let's go ahead and do a quick max out right now. Miles per hour, 17 miles per hour, 18 miles per hour, 19 miles per hour, and now we're kind of maxing out. So this scooter is definitely, as I mentioned earlier, not the fastest scooter that you guys will be buying, but it'll definitely get you from point A to point B. We just finished up a little break, had a nice little drink, and at the moment, what I want to do is I want to test out the suspension, because you know what we're finding with all these electric products is that the suspension is a big part of it. Other than the battery and the engine and the handle, the suspension makes a huge difference when riding the actual scooter. So what I want to do is I want to take this bike off-road. I want to jump a couple curves, do a little quick tricks on the scooter, just feel what the suspension is like. It doesn't look like a super sophisticated suspension. Again, this is kind of an entry-level scooter, but for a price point of $1,100, you'd hope that there would be a decent suspension built on the scooter. So let's go through some grass, let's take this thing off-road, and let's test out the suspension. All right, guys, so let's do a couple jumps. I'm gonna jump the sidewalk right here, and let's, hopefully I don't die, but let's do a couple jumps to test out the suspension. Wow, felt good. Oh, so definitely would not recommend doing that, guys, at home. And if you do want to ride one of these scooters, as always, we always promote these helmets because these things can be dangerous, guys. These can be dangerous, and I did not feel too safe doing that. But we're all good, so yeah, let's go take this thing off-road through the park again and see how it handles in some grass. Here, and let's see how this thing handles in the grass, and we'll go. Yeah, this thing is struggling. This thing is struggling. And that's in sport mode. This thing's struggling, guys. Yeah, like I said, we test a lot of different scooters. And if you guys are looking for something that can also go off the street and kind of go into some grass and go through it, probably not the best option, guys. Just my overall review so far of the scooter we've been taking around town, you know, going through off-road, going through the streets, going on the sidewalks. But guys, if you're looking for something for $1,100 budget, being completely honest, I don't know if this would be, you know, my first choice in that price range. The downsides of this scooter are gonna be the build of plastic, number one. Number two, it does have a decent suspension, but that's not gonna really help you guys out if you guys are looking to take it off some more rough terrain, because the battery and the power of the scooter is just not high enough in order to handle, you know, this type of terrain and things like that. And then the third thing, guys, as mentioned, tying back into the battery and tying back into the actual motor, it's just not that strong of a motor. I looked online, the max peak speed for this is 22 miles per hour. I'm hitting around 19, 20 going through the scooter. I weigh 175 pounds to give you guys a quick good idea, but that's just kind of my overview of the scooter so far. All right, guys, so we're now in the garage. I'm gonna click the power button, turn on that light. It's not that powerful of a light, guys, but it, you know, will help if you guys are driving at night, mainly for safety reasons. You really don't want to be driving an electric vehicle, especially at night without a light. You want to make sure that people can see you and that you guys are trying to be as safe as possible. So that's pretty much it on the light. All right, guys, so the battery died, unfortunately. I'm not gonna blame the scooter. We've been riding it around pretty much all day. Yeah, we started filming the video at about 60%, 50% battery. We had charged it about last week, but the battery already died. So we really didn't go that far today, to be honest with you. They do say that you'll get about 5 hours of battery life. So yeah, the battery life's okay on the scooter. Just make sure you guys bring your charger with you guys if you have this thing. It's not like one of these e-bikes or higher charged scooters where you're not gonna have an issue. Another problem that I do have with the battery of this scooter is that it doesn't really show you how much battery it has left. There might be a way if we go down and check it, correct me if I'm wrong, but like on the actual screen, it doesn't show you anything about how much battery is left. It just kind of shows you the power that you have ready to be used, you know, while you're on the scooter. So that's just a couple quick features. Luckily, I don't live too far from where we shoot these videos. So it's only about a 5-10 minute walk. And then we'll go ahead and give you guys the conclusion of the scooter. All right, guys, so we're back from our day on the Evolv. Took it out for about 2 hours going out and shooting. As I mentioned earlier, the battery did die, unfortunately. I'm not gonna blame the company for that. We didn't fully charge it when we started shooting it, which is our lesson to be learned. But I'm just gonna give you guys my overall conclusion of the scooter. And really quickly, before I do the conclusion, I did wanna mention the bike also, if we pull this thing up, it will basically fold up. So I really wanna mention the portability of the scooter. So they have a little clip here, it comes back down here, and then you guys can basically put this thing in the back of your truck or in the back of your car. It'll definitely fit in your trunk, it's not that big. So it is pretty portable in that sense. However, I did wanna mention that this scooter is pretty heavy. So despite it being plastic and basically not being built, in my opinion, you know, really, really well compared to some of these other scooters on the market, it's also pretty heavy. So that's another downside of the scooter. So anyway, we'll go right back into that. Other than that, guys, my overall opinion on the scooter. So the Evolv for $1,100, it'll definitely get you from point A to point B. In my personal opinion, for $1,100, I would definitely look into some other options on the electric scooter market. This scooter will go max out at about 22 miles per hour, as mentioned before in the video. It does have a decent suspension on the front. However, it's not going to be great for all-purpose taking it on to off-terrain, things like that. It does have a built-in light. And honestly, guys, it's a good scooter. It's a decent scooter. I'm not going to tell you not to buy it. I'm just going to say look at some other options that's on the market for these electric scooters. Just because, guys, there's so many of them on the market today. In my personal opinion, will tell you that there's some better options for the bang for your buck, $1,100. But overall, guys, the Evolv was a pretty good scooter. The Stride was a pretty good scooter overall. I thought it was, you know, the brakes are good. The speed is good, the tire size is decent, and just to get around the city, it gets the job done. So, as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave us a like, make sure to leave us a subscribe. We're gonna be putting out weekly content, giving you guys the best reviews on any electrical products that are coming out in the future. So we'll catch you on the next video on Electric Buzz, and as always, peace out.